What's happening, everybody? It's Bad Brad. Sorry about the technical difficulties. The stream that I had set up, it got all out of whack, and there's chaos at the house. And I'm just trying to get here on live and on time for you guys right now. So hopefully you guys can now find the stream because we've completely lost the stream. The dog's gone wild. It's absolute madness. Michael, it's just chaos here at the house. I'm just trying to get on this stream on time, and it's been a festivus for the rest of us. Yeah, the whole thing went away. Yeah, the whole thing that I had set up went away because I was trying to do something, and I don't know, but here I am. I'm here, and I made it. I made it. Let's just say I made it. Hello, Nick. How you doing? Merry Christmas. Thank you. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, I had set up the whole live stream and I clicked the wrong button because I'm juggling this and juggling that in the house and trying to make sure everybody everybody is taken care of, and then I get 1 minute to come in here and get my live stream set up, and it all went poof. So I'm back, and we're here. It's Saturday night. It's 7 o'clock, and let's have some fun. Let's have some fun, man. Let's have some fun tonight. I need to have fun. I need to have some adult conversation. I need to have a little Red Bull, and I had set up everything. I had a description for the Paul. Glad to have you here. I had the description set up. I had links for everything, and it all got blown up. So we're now here. The whole stream got blown up because I was frazzled trying to take care of everybody in the house, and I had 1 minute to come in here and get things turned on, and I clicked the wrong button, and boom, the whole thing went kaput. So, and now you can hear there's crying in the other room. There's a dog barking in the other room. And I'm just trying to juggle everything, you guys, and doing the best I can. Why did I sell the Kemper player? Uh, it just wasn't doing everything that I wanted it to do. And I basically just said, you know what? I'm not paying another $300 to get this to equal old technology that I had before. And I just went with something different, so no FMP, please. Now, come on, man. No more cat episodes and all that. Let's keep it light. Let's have fun tonight, man. I'm under yeah. It's another night in Dad world, exactly. So and this is always me scrambling to get online and get this set up for the night. So we're here. I have Nick. I have the ToneX. I have the ToneX 1 still, but it is far from perfect. I like the amp sounds. I love the captures, but the user interface I just can't get on with, man. I just cannot get on with the ToneX interface. Right on. Thank you, Dana. Thank you so much. Not a problem, brother. I appreciate it. You got access to an interview right now that's over. Yeah, Dave gets it. Dave gets it. Dave knows how it is, man. And I'm really, I fight every day to keep this channel going, to get my videos out every second, every free second that I have. To make these live streams happen, all of this, I literally have to just pull teeth to make things happen. So it's not easy, when if all I had to do was do this, dude, it'd be a cakewalk, and I'd have 100,000 followers by now. But I am juggling many dad hats. And it's difficult. It's difficult to carve out an hour out of the week and even do that. Thank you, Scott. Thank you so much. I very much appreciate it. Yeah, the video I put out this morning is doing real well. Um, everything is good. Dana, thank you so much. Very much appreciated getting the night started. Yeah, I'm a dog. I've got an injured dog that's barking in the other room, and it's just always the poor Ace. I know. Yeah, yeah. The new one in my member section today. I put up a walking video I did this morning, and man, that one came out great. I did. I put together three new videos in the members section today, and all three of them were good. So I got a lot of work done today. I've been working nonstop today, working nonstop. Right on, Mike. I went from wild man to dad. Wavelength, you know. Well, it's not so much that I dislike it because I love it. I love being a dad. I just wish that my time that I carve out would be like, oh, we got you, Dad. 7 o'clock's your time on Saturday. We got you. You don't worry about it, Dad. We got you. Go in the room and get ready for your thing. But no, I'm like, there's stuff I still got to do when this is over with. Yeah, Ace is on the mend, and he's a tripod right now. He's just limping around, and he wants to do all the stuff that he did before, the jumping around and jumping on the couch and doing all that stuff. But we've got to keep him contained a lot, and he doesn't like it. And he still thinks in his mind, because he's just a puppy, he still thinks that, he can do all the stuff that he did before. So let's just say that some visitors picked up the dog, and the dog jumped out of their arms. Not the kids not knowing that a dog like that, you can't allow it to jump. And so then the dog was injured, and calamity happened, and I blew up, because it's like I literally had just sat down and was getting my chance to have a piece of cake, and chaos erupts again. So the dog is okay, but it did require a Christmas trip to the doggy emergency room to get X-rays and all that stuff. So it's never always. Oh, Scott, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. That will help us have a great New Year's Eve. I appreciate that. So yes, indeed. Let's see. What are we drinking here? What are you guys drinking out there? I'm having a Karuba elderflower Red Bull. I'm not sure this is my favorite flavor, but hey, being 70 and retired, you don't give a rat's butt about much anymore. Take a sip of your Red Bull and take it easy. Dana, amen. Amen, brother. Amen. Paul's got his Dasani. Freddie's got shots and Coke Chaser. Yeah, Ace, despite all his rage, he's still just a rat chihuahua in a cage, and he is yelping in the background, and yeah, it's tough to concentrate with that going on. Call Dana, you got coffee. That's a good one. That'll give you a little jolt, little nightcap. But man, other than that, man, everything is going great. You bought some weird beer the other day, Michael. Figured it would slow me down. Not so much. I don't do. When I was still drinking, I didn't do good with weird beers. I'd have to drink the lightweight American Pilsner, nonsense. All that weird beer and stuff like that. No, that's that IPA and all that kind of stuff. No, I can't do that. Yeah, the Smashing Pumpkins were lumped in with the grunge thing, but they weren't really. They were a '90s band. I would say, was that late '90s? They were different, man. Yes, everybody hit the like button. Let's, I want to have certain goals this year. I think we've broken 100 people in the chat on one of these Saturday nights. I'd love to get it. I'd love to get it up to $200, 200, not $200, but 200 people in here. Yo, Max, how you doing, brother? I would love to get 200 people in here. What's the most anybody has seen a live guitar stream have? What's the most? Like a Pete Thorne or something like that? What does he have? 300 or 400, 500? Yes, indeed. And my singer just bought over a brand new red label Yamaha. Pretty nice guitar. Very nice, Bo. Very nice. It's always good having a new axe to play. So, what do you guys want to chat about tonight? What's on the agenda? Dude, dude. Yeah, Rick Beato. How many did he have though? Just smash. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. I very much appreciate it, man. Everybody hit that thumbs up. And dude, Rick Beato is really, I mean, it's amazing what he's done. But man, there are channels like, I don't know if you guys have, how many, if you had to watch kids channels on YouTube because you have a young kid, like my daughter likes to watch Vlad and Nikki, right? And that's like these two, like, it's like a family of kids. They obviously got money because they've got all these expensive toys, and their hair is always perfectly coiffed, and they've always got nice outfits on and stuff. And man, I was watching a thing about YouTube and how much YouTubers make, and Vlad and Nikki make $40 million. That's what they're worth, I guess, in YouTube terms. So, man, I don't think there'll ever be a what's happening, Cardone. I don't think there'll ever be a guitar channel that'll make that kind of money. I don't know. I mean, how much money does Rick Beato make? Does anybody know? Yeah, $40 million for a kids channel. And I think Coco Melon, that whoever owns that, it's like hundreds of millions. It's like 200 million or 300 million. And I know, look, man, when I was, when Mia was younger and stuff, and we had like a nursery or we had a crib or whatever, I'd put on Coco Melon or something on the TV, and it would give her something to do. Blippy is another one. Blippy's making millions of dollars. And Dana, thank you so much. Very much appreciate it. Very much. Now this one I can't even put the like on, but I very much appreciate that. Dana rocks. Yeah, Mike says he'll settle for half in cash. Yeah, we won't. Beatos ain't slumming, and thank you, Laverne. Beato has said. Someone just says, Rhett Schul. I saw an article the other day that guesstimated that Rhett Schul was making $48,000 a year. And that's a guesstimate. But that's far removed from being like a millionaire. So I mean, here's the thing. If you're living, within your means, you can live off 48K. Here's the reality, man. Here's the reality. My last year touring, I was gone, I did like 130 some shows that year. I was gone like 175 days out of the year. And I made about what Rhett Schul makes putting out one video a week. And I worked my butt off, dude. Sometimes you're going for without showers for a couple of days, or a decent meal, or sleep, or you're traveling all across the country and all that. So, man, put that into perspective. And somebody said to me, "Oh, well, that's not much money. Um, why would you do YouTube or whatever?" And I'm thinking, dude, I had to work my butt off to make 48 G's playing guitar. I don't know. I mean, I don't know his personal finances. Here's the other thing: he could have other income stream. Yeah, it's not Rick's son. That's it. He's just, they're down in the same area. So, Rick kind of helped him out. Yeah, Beato can play his butt off. It's interesting. Here's the thing, man. I am floating around this time. The most I've made in 1 month was $2,000. That's not a lot of bucks. And the last couple of months, last month I made like 1598, so under 2,000. And this month, the reality is I'm sitting at about 1,300 right now, with what, 2 or 3 days left. And here's the thing: I've had good videos come out this month, so the numbers have been good. But here's what's going on. Here's what seems weird. Before, when I would have a good video that's doing well, I would notice that um, my other videos would be getting a lot of streams too. But what's going on now is, it seems like if I got one that's doing good, the other videos are just getting piddly numbers. It's like, for some reason, those aren't getting cycled. And it used to be, if you were if you had a video doing good, that people would be watching your other videos as well. So thank you, Keith. I just continue to pay the dues, and I keep plugging at this, and we see what happens. I have to play this out now. You and Rick too, both of you are using it and becoming. Yeah, Lamb. I mean, that's the idea. That's the idea, is using your life experiences and sharing them. But I can almost feel my channel going from, normally I release things in the music category, but I'm starting to more and more start leaning toward people and blogs. Because even though I'm a guitar player, and that's kind of what my stuff's based off of, it's also all the same lessons that you learned over time, or all can be applied to everything. So, it could be a crossover thing for me to just kind of move into self-help, timed timed with music, tied together. If I could. Oh, Nick, thank you so much. Thank you. It says, let's celebrate Nick Ramble's 5th super on a live stream. And it is very much appreciated. Jesse, saw your Hometown Heroes video. I think the local guys are more influential than the big guys. They showed us that we could do it. Well, that is true. Oh, Wavelength, thank you so much. We're going to keep on trucking. Load it up in trucking. We're going to do what they say can't be done. We got a long way to go, but a short time to get there. Eastbound, watch old bandit run. See what I'm trying to tell you? That's what I'm trying to tell y'all out there. We gotta make it do what it's gonna do. That's all we can do. The Hometown Heroes video did well, and so did the Music Is Dying video did well. And I've had about 2 or 3 other videos that have done really good, solid, upward trajectory numbers, but not those 100,000. What I need is those 100,000 videos, and I still only have one 100,000 view video. So that that is kind of the goal. If I can get those to start popping, then I'm doing something. I've known local guys who were great, but had no ambition. That's a big part of it, man. Ambition. Any thoughts on the McMars situation? Well, that's kind of old hat right now. I mean, I think he's comfortable sitting at home, and he may be getting paid sitting at home. And look, man, as you get older, if you know, part of the reason why I'm doing this channel is I am getting older. And I know that I've seen it. I've seen my friends having to get surgery and stuff because their shoulders blown out and stuff. And I don't want to do that. I want to play. In fact, I reached out to a guy on Facebook yesterday. It looked like an R&B band. It looked like a good player. I heard some clips of him playing. I go, well, this is kind of what I did in Nashville. Maybe I can get plugged up with this guy and do a couple of gigs. Now, whether I end up doing it or not, because I kind of told him, look, I'm not into like having to go rehearse 6 days a week. What I want is a song list, a gig, and a guarantee. A song list, a gig, and a guarantee, and I'll show up and play the gig. Because that's what I'm used to doing. That's what Nashville is. You don't make any money rehearsing. In LA, we used to rehearse 5-6 days a week. Didn't make a dime doing it. Play the clubs, didn't make a dime. Man, you can spend a lot of time in that rehearsal room and then still have maybe somebody in the band that who's leading it can't book gigs. If you can't book gigs, it's almost like you need the gigs first. You need the bookings first, and then you can get the best players available. Can you have remote band members in a Hollywood Squares type video setup? I guess I could, like in some kind of chat, if that's what you're asking. Do practice set list daily or review problem areas? Yeah, I guess I could do something like that with 3 or 4 other guys, but I'd have to change my whole setup and go to StreamYard and do all that. And yeah, Tone Talk is cool. But man, I kind of like this lo-fi, man. Turn on the phone. It's a better camera than when I do my interviews and I have to use the webcam. It's not as good a picture. So I'm still trying to learn this stuff, guys. I'm learning a lot. I'm getting better. Thank you, CC. I'm getting better at what I'm doing, but I like to keep it as lo-fi as possible. This is easy and comfortable for me to sit here and read this and talk to you guys. What have you got planned for tomorrow? Well, Chris, tomorrow morning on this channel, and I'm glad that you asked, tomorrow morning is the best of 2024. I've got bits from some of the interviews I did with people like Tom McDermott from Rick James and Rudy Sarzo and on. And I've got bits and pieces. Some of it's never before seen footage. And it's some of the best of pieces from the interviews that I did in 2024. Now, there's not all of them in there because I didn't want to have a 2-hour video. But, and it's a good like hour and 20 minutes video that's going to air tomorrow morning. Rudy Sarzo, Tom McDermott, John Billings, Lance Morrison. Who else I got on there? Tyson Leslie, I think, is in that. Yeah, it's got a lot of great stuff. So that's going to air tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. And then hush, hush, hush. I've got a really big rock star that I'm doing an interview with tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's not going to be live. I'm going to tape it, but it will probably air the week after next Sunday, after first of the year. Start the first of the year with a real bang, right? So that's what's coming up. I shot a bunch of new, I call them stingers. I've came up with this idea. People want to hear a little bit of playing, but they don't want to maybe have to sit through 5 minutes of playing, but they like to have a taste. So I shot these stingers where I play like a 30-second or 45-second or 15-second, me playing a lick, and then the logo pops up. So I did like 6 of those yesterday. That's stuff that's going to be interspersed in new videos, stuff for next year. I've got some killer people in lined up that I've saved. I've been saving some of the. Chris, I don't think I'll be able to do that because I just can't leave the family. Thank you, Freddie. Yeah, so man, I'd like to go see Odin, and maybe I'll look into that. But it just, man, even if I just went myself, you're looking at $1,000. And you know what? I'm not there. I'm not there. Yet monetarily with this channel yet. If I had enough money coming in, I'd say, yeah, I'm gonna go out there and interview Odin, get him in a hotel room and have like a little pre-hang, before the gig and do all that. But I've got to keep it, between the lines. But man, I've got some amazing ideas for 2025. By the way, this is the last Backstage with Bad Brad before the New Year's. Now I'm thinking about it. Thinking about going live New Year's Eve. It won't be one of those 11 o'clock and countdown at midnight or anything like that. But it'll be for us grown-up folks to be able to chat and have a good time and have a little party, right? Because let's face it, man, I don't care. They've got fireworks going on here in the neighborhood and they got all this stuff. But I'm not gonna stay up all night. Yeah, I'm not gonna do the 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock thing. But what I will do is I'll go live on New Year's Eve and we'll just hang, man. Merry Christmas. At least Lisa's popping in. Yes, we want to thank everybody, man, because this is a labor of love. Right on, Mike. I appreciate it, brother. You have a great show tonight. This is a labor of love, man. If I didn't love doing this, if I didn't love chatting with all you guys and meeting these people, man, this is some of the best times that I have, man. I'll play a solo for New Year's Eve. Yeah, I definitely will. I'll definitely play. So she's got Mia chilled. The stream came off, and I want to talk about so somebody asked me before about the Kemper Profiler player. Well, I sold that. I sold the Nano Cortex, and I'm using the Ampero Stomp 2. And the reason why is because I was able to sell both of those pedals, get a bunch of bucks, and then I replaced it with the Ampero Stomp 2, which was going on sale on Amazon for a while there for $300. And it's got a touch screen, and it's got IRs, and it's got all this stuff. And for me, man, here's the thing. You just have to dial in whatever you got. If you play, I was talking to Freddie last night, and it's like, dude, we'd do these gigs in Hollywood back in the day, and it would be they'd have Carvin X100B amp heads. I sell it on Reverb, Freddie. And if you want that link, I'll give you that link. Let you know when some good deals pop up. Because, man, it's a lot better deal. And some of this stuff, man, I just use it, do a couple demos, and it goes on the way. It is Lucho, the Ampero Stomp 2. Now, if you're a member of my channel, there's a video I just posted, and it's me getting Dumble amp tones out of the Ampero Stomp 2, and it's like 8 minutes of me just soloing over this groove. Because you know what? Somebody said the other day, man, I need to hear just 30 minutes of you. Mike, thank you for dropping. I need to hear just 30 minutes of you jamming. I'm like, well, I got to do that. So the other day, man, this last 2 days, I've been working my ass off. some of the in-laws were in town, and I was staying here. I was shooting all those stingers for the channel. I shot 3 different takes of me playing over this fusion, thing. And I'm just, so the Ampero stomp too, man, it sounds great. And let me see if I can get this over here. Let me see if I can pull this over here. How much cable do I have? 1 second, guys. Almost there. Hang on. Coming. I'm coming. I'll be coming. All right, here we go. All right, let me show you something. Let me show you about this. This is like a Helix, right? And the cool thing about this is it's a touch screen, right? And the Helix, even the most expensive Helix, doesn't have this. Now, I don't have any endorsement with these guys. I'm not endorsed by these guys. They did not send me this, but I just kind of do my research on, and when this thing sells for $300 right now, it normally sells for $499. Go on Sweetwater right now, it's $499. But every now and then you'll see them on Reverb, or you'll see them on Amazon. You'll see them for $300, and that's brand new. So this thing is super cool because you just touch something and boom, then it pulls up the controls for that. You could turn it on and off. It's got, the main screen with the numbers and all that. You could change the color of the display and all that. So that's what I'm currently using for just, modeling, having a modeler to do my, demos and stuff like that on the channel. And I think it sounds great. It's really easy, Freddie, because you can touch the screen. And when, as opposed to having to scroll through menus, you touch the pedal and boom, you're instantly making adjustments on that. So I like it a lot. I think it hangs up there with the Helix stuff. And it's the upper levels of this pedal. The Ampero 2, I think it's the stage, and the other one with the expression pedal. It now has tone capture. So you can actually capture your amps on it. The one I have doesn't have that. But no, I'm not, Lucho, I am not anti-modeler at all. And I remember when the first pod came out, I bought one. I thought this thing is cool. And I put headphones on and I sat there and I listened to the different amp tones in my head. Of course, now that's old technology and those don't sound as good as the modern stuff. But man, there's a place for everything. Remember the old Rockmans? I mean, dude, listen to a lot of guitar solos in the 80s that were recorded in New York. It's all Rockman. Can you share the amp captures? I think I can probably share my presets and stuff. I have to figure out how to do that, but I'm pretty sure you're able to do that. Yeah, it's super easy, man. I mean, I could talk somebody through presets that I've did. Like, I'll give you a tip. If you like that Robin Ford Fusion, Larry Carlton, Dumble style tone, it's got a Dumble amp in it, right? But that's not enough. There's also a Zen drive in there. See, the thing to me, the thing about a Dumble is the way that you can pick, and you hear the chirp of the pick and the pick dynamics. And the Dumble amp that's in there, for me, wasn't doing it on its own. But a Zen drive is also a pedal that emulates Dumbles. In fact, guys like Larry Carlton and Robin Ford have Zen drives on their pedal board, especially for situations where they don't have their Dumble amp. So we would take in that patch that I did, and it's on my channel in my member section. It's called like "Shut Up and Play" or something like that. Ampero Dumble, you know, something. I just put it up today. Chris, thank you, thank you. I'll see you in the morning, brother. But I put that Zen drive. There's a Zen drive in the Ampero 2. And I put that in front of the Dumble amp. And then all of a sudden, all the chirp, all the little pick nuances that you get out of a Dumble amp, it's there. So that's just little tricks that you try. Look, the Dumble amp in there to my ears wasn't Dumble enough. Throw the Dumble pedal in front of the Dumble thing, and then boom, all the things that I was going for was there. So man, you know, you just gotta, you know, you gotta experiment. You know, yeah. Once it's saved, and that's what I did the other day. I put together a Marshall sound. I put together a Fender Clean. I put together my Dumble thing. I put together a Mark IIc tone, and you know, and I liked the tones I was getting. So yeah, everybody hit the like button. 69 people in here, but we're having frivolity, right? Frivolity for everyone. In fact, I'm going to give free frivolity for everybody that's listening out there. Free frivolity. That's what it's all about. I traded a tattoo for my Rockman. Yeah. Well, here's the thing, Bo. You know, I don't know specifically about what you're talking about, but I make my own tones. When I get one of those things, I'm never usually happy with the stuff that just comes with it. A lot of people will do that. A lot of people will get other people's tones. But Bo, I will take whatever there and I will assemble the chain myself of what it is. So anything that I dial in on a modeler, it's my tone because I use my ears and my experience of playing through the real thing to make it sound good to my ears. So that's, you know, but not everybody does that. Most guys just turn it on and, oh, that sounds good, and go over. So Amnesiac, glad to have you here. I did Anarchy Extra. I lived in sin at the Holiday Inn. Yeah, I don't have any Buckethead albums either, Metal Mike. But you know, here's something that talking about the Sunset Strip days. I was watching. Anybody seen the Guns N' Roses "It's So Easy" video? And they just put it out. What, about 4 or 5 years ago? They released it. They had not released it because of Axl's court cases that were going on at the time. But watch that video later tonight if you've seen that. To me, that song and that video, to me, just encapsulates that Guns N' Roses era and that whole scene, man. It's you know, people today say, oh, it's tame, you know, it's not that big. But man, I think it's pretty racy. It's a great video, Paul. It's great, but beware that there is some pretty I don't know, I would say pretty wild footage, considering that it's you know, it's on MTV and it's not censored. So yeah, that's I think if you want to get a feel of what it was like out then, and I know me and P Funk, we went to Cat House. I know we went to Cat House a couple times. It was like a Tuesday night or something like that. You remember that, P Funk? This is a weird flavor. I should have gone for my regular. Z Pierre 509. Yeah, there's a few clubs in Nashville that are live streaming. Some of the actual clubs have live streams. Yeah, it's kind of enjoyable. Yeah, you remember, Michael, you remember the Cat House. We went down there a couple times, man. It was on a weekday. It wasn't a weekend gig. So yeah, though that was the kind of place where you would go on a weeknight and you'd be hungover as hell at work the next day. But I never liked the hair band metal thing. Listen to Prague and hated Poison. Yeah, I'm Freddie. I'm not a big fan of Poison, or any of Amnesiac. Thank you so much. I'm not a fan of the glam stuff. I was a fan of Van Halen, and I like prog, and I like jazz, and a lot of different stuff. But here's the thing, man. You know, you're born in a certain time, and by the time I got out to LA, it was the tail end, but there was also a lot of that glam stuff. So everybody had to kind of assimilate and have long hair. But it just was what it was. Yeah. Michael, you say hangovers were easier in your 20s. Man, I tell you what, dude, when I was drinking on the road, and I was drinking ungodly amounts like every night. And man, I got to the point, dude, where I didn't even have a hangover the next day. I'd just be like, and I tell you what, man, for some reason, I switched from whiskey to Fireball. Now I know Fireball is it's like the worst thing for you. But for some reason, I thought I wouldn't like get blackout drunk if I drank Fireball. So I was just chugging it. I get it frozen. I'd have it in the freezer, and I'd just like be chugging it straight. And man, it felt like the next day. Maybe it's because it was, it's got like, some kind of thing in it. Yeah, it was sugar. That's the thing. I was trying. It was like I had an eternal buzz. It goes down very easy, Mike. And I would have a glass of Fireball in a solo cup about that tall, right? And then I would have several beers on the amp. So, and those would all be, yeah, I still like, but see, this is the first energy drink. This is the second one. I had one 2 days ago. I was working here at the house by myself, and I cracked open a Red Bull the other day because I was doing all that work. But it's like I switched from regular whiskey to the Fireball because I started feeling like wasn't passing out, drunk on the whiskey. On the Fireball, I was able to keep going. But man, I would wake up the next day and just not even be hungover, just be constantly in this kind of state. And man, it's a good thing. It's a good thing I got off the road because, my thing was, dude, I would be on that bus and go, I do not want to die on this bus. I do not want to die on this bus. Please, please don't let me die on this bus. It just was one of those things, man. I was always thinking about. Yeah, I hear you, Freddie. I hear you. Man, the thing is, man, you get out there and you can get deep in your cups, dude, because every night is Saturday night. When you're playing a huge place on a Tuesday, people expect a spectacle. And for me, I always thought people want to see that wild, crazy rock star. So I gave them what I thought they wanted. But it's a tough thing to live to. If it was my own, yeah. Oh, John, thank you so much. Happy New Year to you, brother. This is awesome. This is awesome. Let me hit the thing. Thank you so much. Um, yeah, a lot of people say that, Freddie. A lot of people say, man, it's a good thing I didn't make it because I'd be dead. Think about it, dude. A lot of us poor musicians are still here because we didn't have a lot of money. Because if we'd had a lot of money, yeah, you can just party. Yeah, that's what Fu Man. Yeah. Yeah. All right, Foo. Thank you. Um, yeah, sober due to funds. Euro. It would always limit how much damage you were going to do. But think of a guy like Eddie Van Halen, right? Who, those guys partied in the clubs. Those guys partied when they played backyard parties, but it was all fairly innocent, right? And then you go on tour, right? And I need a little extra energy tonight. And so energy, substance engaged, right? And then it becomes every night because you're playing 5 nights a week or 6 nights a week. So it's energy engaged and beer engaged every night. And then you get off the road and now you've got a lot of money. So what do? Oh, you make the call and you got a giant satchel and you can stay up for days, you could stay up for weeks. And it just a guy like that he wasn't somebody that liked being social, so he could just be in his own place and he could destroy himself. And the rest of us, man, would go, well, I got to pay rent, you know, and so I'm not gonna, you can't go crazy. You can only do but so much, you know. Yeah, the downfall starts. So, you know, that's the reality. There is a lot of truth when guys say that. When guys say, "Man, if I'd have made it back then," here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. Booze on the road is free. Never paid for a drink ever. And every night, the bus would be stocked with fresh drinks. Every night, it'd be 2 bottles of Fireball, a bottle of tequila, a bottle of vodka, 2 cases of beer, and whatever else, Red Bulls and whatever else you ask for. Every night, the bus is loaded up with bus stock. And bus stock is largely alcohol. The biggest cost, probably to the promoter or whoever's having to provide it, is the booze. So yeah, why wouldn't you drink? And here's the thing, man. Even if you feel like taking a break, it's hard, man, because everybody else is partying and they're going, go to bed, baby. And I had a newbie say that to me. Just go get in your bunk, old man, or something like that. And dude, I was like, man, you better be thankful I'm not drinking right now. Uh, Freddie, not so much. It's not like, say, it probably was in the 80s. There really wasn't a whole lot of that. It really was the Red Bulls and the booze and the shots, and then maybe a little bit of that was going on. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe, but not a lot of the hard stuff. At least not that I saw. But I did hear about groups that were. It depends on the camp. It depends on who you're playing with. Now, some touring acts, no booze on the rider, no parties, nobody allowed on the bus, nobody allowed anywhere. I even heard of this. You guys will like this. You guys like these stories. I heard of a artist that would make the band and crew all wear shirts that said, "Hi, my name is," and put their name there on each guy's shirt, and it says, "How can I help you today?" So he would make the band guys, the crew, everybody go out to the local venue with basically shirts on it that said, "Hi, how can I help you?" And the reality, and then you were not allowed, like when you're walking to the bus after the show, there's usually people lined up against the fence, especially if you play like those state fairs and stuff like that. There's usually people lined up against the fence with stuff that they want signed, CDs or whatever, and they don't care necessarily if it's the artist. Sometimes they're like, man, you play awesome guitar. Will you sign this? And the reality is, some artists will say, you can't talk to the fans, you can't sign anything, you can't do anything. So, and here's the deal. Kirin Sen said, I hope they paid good. The reality is this. They probably paid what everybody else was paying, or maybe even a little less. Back in those days, 150 a show for newbies or a beginning act, and having to travel all across the world. Now think about that. 100 shows at 150 bucks a show. What's that? Who's good at math? Give me the answer. 100 shows at 150 a pop. What is that? I'm going to wait until somebody gives me the answer. 100 shows, 150 a show. That's what is it? 15,000 or something like that? I don't know. Or 12,500. It's 15K. Okay, so think about that. That's probably a fair assumption of 100 dates. That's actually some guys, that's about what they make. And Michael said $100 billion. It's $100 billion, dude. So 100 shows. So think about that. If you were working for 150 a show, which is what it used to be, 100 times 150, 150 bucks a show, it's 15K. And 100 shows, but that might be spread out over the 365 days of the year. And when you're playing a road gig, a lot of times it's hard to keep your gigs at home. So, that you have to give priority to the road gig. You're only making 15K. You're only making 15K. So when I did my video Broke on the Road, that was a interesting, and that got 100,000 views because it broke down. See, when I was on tour, I had very low mortgage. 48,000 was good money. I was working my butt off. I was paid well for my time. And oh yeah, Freddie, you got to pay for your own gear. Absolutely. I put thousands of dollars into my gear, my road cases, my amp heads, my guitars. That's the thing, dude. The higher you get up the ladder, you need to have the right gear. And the modelers hadn't taken over like they were. Now, no, it's not under the table at all, Wave. No. It's all done, above board. You're paying into taxes. There's accountants and all that. Jez Bay, Sugar Puffs, you had to pay for own equipment. Sure, we had to pay for our own equipment. Now, look, you get big enough, we got some free guitars. I had companies giving me free strings, free picks. That certainly helped a lot. Dunlop I think they paid for our pedals. I think Dunlop was giving me free pedals. Mickey, how you doing, brother? Glad to have you here. It doesn't pay that good, Keith. I mean, now, did they fix your amp if it blew up? Absolutely not, Freddie. They didn't fix anything. No, you had to maintain your own gear. And like I said, man, we used to call it spending thousands to make hundreds. That's the reality. I mean, dude, I put just the road case alone for my amp heads was like $900. And then each amp head, the BE 100 that I had, that was like $2,200 or $1,900. The other two heads I had were 15 or $1,600 or $1,800. So there's 5 or 6 grand worth of stuff just in that, not including cables, not including the guitars. I had, because I was going through a lot of guitars were getting destroyed. I had gear that was dropped by local road crews and broken. I didn't get anything for that. No, I just had to get somebody to get it working so I could sell it, you know. JCM 800, you don't, for me, that would be a standard amp. Are you talking studio guys, or what are you talking? I mean, I love a JCM 800, and that would actually, if I had to do fly dates where they provide the gear, JCM 800 was on my rider. So yeah, that's that was my choice. I like a JCM 800. I think that you can get, because see, here's the thing. I would generally run the amps fairly clean. Freddie, there's no health insurance. There's nothing, man. There's no guarantees of anything. Yeah, there's no guarantees. It just is what it is. And here's the thing, man. Your gear could get completely, those buses catch on fire. It didn't happen when I was out on the road, but I know guys that have been on a bus and the whole bus up, and maybe they get, Mickey, thank you so much. Red Bull, brother, I appreciate it. You got it. And here's a toast to you. Thank you, sir. No, I hear you, Freddie. But here's the thing, man. And this is kind of the reality of the biz. And I think all artists do this to some degree, because they know, you're working hard for that money, and they need band members. Sometimes it's hard to get guys. Here's the thing, Jez. I had to play it on the edge of breakup, because I run all my effects, everything into the front of the amp. So that's the Nashville way, man. And I got to get those edge of breakup tones, and I can't just go out there and play with a metal tone all night. So that's why I would use those JCM 800 amps, because I could get a little hair on it. When I hit a chord hard, yeah, I want some hair on it, but I'm not going to just go up there with a dimed JCM 800 on a country gig. We're talking a country gig. Well, it's not peanuts. It's just what they pay. And look, you can negotiate more. If I had a huge following, if I'd have had my YouTube popping before I got the call for the road gig, I could have said, hey, man, I want this much a gig. And maybe they would have paid it. Maybe they wouldn't. But at the time, man, all I was doing was playing at home in Nashville. I didn't have a huge following. I feel like now, like doing this channel, once I do start playing some gigs or whatever, man, you're gonna have to get paid. I'm gonna start booking gigs. When we get to 100,000 subscribers, I'll start booking gigs, and I'll start, hey, here's the deal. And we'll throw a party, man. We'll throw an awesome party somewhere, and I'll invite all of you guys, and it'll be in a club, or it'll be somewhere where maybe even everybody could jam a little bit. That would be awesome. There's no benefits. There's no health care. And here's the thing, man. I think every musician feels like this. Like, we have to get up on that stage. We have to do this. This is my mission. It doesn't matter that it doesn't pay as good, or they're not going to pay for this, or I got to pay for my own gear. It's like, this is my mission. And it doesn't matter if I'm tired, or if I need more money, or whatever else. I'm going to push my body to the breaking point to get up on that stage. And I think every musician feels that way. And that is what drives us. Um, Somebody just said music cares. When when COVID hit and all of my gigs were canceled, just stripped off of my calendar, everything pulled. Music cares. I think they sent me a check for $1,000, which that's not gonna last long. That'll get you some groceries for a while. And I think they sent me a second thousand. So it's nice. It's nice. It's a little mailbox money, but it's nothing compared to what all I had on the books. I had months and months of gigs on the books, and that was all gone. John, it will be epic. I think we can, man. I think we can, John. And it just, it takes some luck. It takes some luck that knowing when these videos, you put them out. And sometimes I put out one and I don't think it's going to go good. Where is the best money for no star gigs? I don't know. Bo, I mean, the best money for me, and the best money I was getting paid was when towards the end of my time in Nashville, making $500, playing weddings, playing corporate events, $500 a night. I drive to the gig myself. I roll in my basic gear, a couple guitars, a small combo amp, and a pedal board. I play for 4 hours and I go home and sleep in my bed. To me, that's the ultimate situation. $500 is good money. $500 a night. Look, you could do 2 gigs a week. There's your $1,000. It's more than what I'm making now, working 13 hours a day, 14 hours a day on this channel. But this is a labor of love. You cannot do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. And I've been doing that for decades. I've been playing gigs and chasing that nonsense, for a while. But here's the thing. Somebody just said that's $125 an hour. Here's the deal, Bo. We'd get an email, say on a Thursday, telling us what we got to do on Saturday. So here's the deal. They will tell you you've got to load in at noon and you've got mandatory sound check at 2 o'clock. So you figure you leave your house at 11 o'clock. You don't get out of there till 11 o'clock that night. That's actually working, 12 hours, right? So it's not $125 an hour. And then if you have to string your guitars up, if you have to learn material before you go down there, which is highly likely, that cuts into the per hour thing. You can look at it as it's just 4 hours, but it's not. A lot of times it's 8 hours, or it's 10 hours, or it's 11 hours. So yeah, it's a lot of work. But man, look, if you love playing music, and that's what I like to do, that's just what I want to do. It's possible, Steve. It's possible. I heard that was a week, not a night. Corinne's in. It didn't used to be that we would get tips on those gigs, but then I started the last couple of years. Right on. Man, that is awesome, Earl. So Earl bought the Fesley FME 1000. Man, it's a heck of a deal with that code, dude. You got $81 off, so that put it at what, $218 or something like that? It's a lot of stuff on that pedal. 200 a week in the 80s. Yeah, that's what I heard. And I've heard other people say that 250 a week they got playing with Ozzy. And that's possible, man. I used to hear in LA in the early 90s that road gigs would pay a weekly fee of like $1,500 a week. And I thought that's good money. $1,500 a week, dude. That's more than I've ever made. I probably had some weeks. If you figure 300 a show and you multiply that by 5, that's 15. So what's that? $1,500 for the week? right? Or no, what am I, is my math that bad? 5, 10, no, 300 is what? Oh, 15, it's 1,500 for the week. Is that what it is? Y'all help me out, man. My brain is fried, and I'm never was good at math. Um, yeah, Paul, did you order the Jackson? I can't wait, dude. It's a super fun guitar. It's super fun. If you okay, if you're making 300, if you're making 300 3 days in a row, that's $900. Yeah, so 1,500 if you worked 5 days out of the week. That's before taxes. So then let's say we did $1,500, and then yes, it is Michael Strong. It is a billion. It's 100 billion, dude. Um, let's say you did that, and then the rare occasion that, oh, Monday morning you're gonna record the album or whatever, and we're gonna pay you this flat fee for playing on the album. So then you could theoretically have a $2,500 week or a $3,000 week. So that's not bad. It's not bad. But see, here's the thing. My mortgage was $720 a month, or 678 or something like that. We're talking, yeah. Sometimes, John, sometimes it would be. Here's the thing. Nashville sessions, they cram as many songs as they can into a short time. You know how you think about when you go in the studio and you think about guys going in there for 12 hours and just working on this and trying to get the perfect guitar sound and trying to get the perfect take and all this, and we're in there for days. No, Nashville, they do a whole album in 2 days, and you would do 3 songs before lunch. So you go in and you track 3 songs, and you got like 3 hours to record those 3 songs. And then you take a break and you go to lunch, and you come back and you do another 3. So that's 6 songs. You come back the next day, you do another 3, There's 12 songs, and boom, the whole record is done. Now, that doesn't include tracking the vocals and all that, but the band is done. It's all done very quick. Keep the money, keep the expenses down. So, Nashville's a different beast. It's a different beast. Back in the day, dude, they would spend hundreds of thousands of dollars recording, Steely Dan records or Pink Floyd records, or, you hear about albums costing $1 million. There's no way to recoup that now. Yeah, Johnny, that's very true. AI is going to be producing the music now. It's right now, it's the early stages. There's all these AI songs on what is it? On YouTube, and it's all these funny titles and these retro, funny stuff. Yeah, Freddie, yeah, look, you spend more time and more focus doing a demo. Nashville is like that. They do things. Thank you, Maxwell. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You spend more time. See, my thing was, I'm from the rock school. So, man, my thing is, the song is done when we say it's done. But Nashville does, you got to work quick. That's why Freddie was asking me about tone. And I said, dude, imagine this. Imagine going into the studio, hearing what you're going to play, and hearing it in minutes. You have to walk into the other room, quick, dial up a guitar sound within seconds, and come up with a part like that, and then play it, and then nail it. That is what a Nashville session is. And you hear the story, like you hear about Kenny Aronoff, and they're like, Aronoff, this is your intro. You go in there now. And he knows that he's got, between the time he walks from that control room to his drum throne, he's got seconds to think of, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Dude, here's the thing. You get used to it. And there's ways there's ways to work around it. This is probably the most in-depth I've gotten into this stuff before, but here's how I would think of very quickly. I would make a call. I would make a call and go, this sounds like the Stones. I'm going to play it like the Stones. I'm going to pretend I'm Keith Richards on this song. And I'll play, there's that country thing, that I don't know, late 90s country where it's like that Chuck Berry kind of country. So I'd make a call really quick. I'm going to play it like this. I'm going to play it like Chuck Berry, Keith Richards. Or this next song is like I would call Redneck U2, that echoey guitar with the ethereal like stuff. Or this next song, you know what I did one time? The song was the same 4 chords over and over again. And it just said, man, I don't want to think about a part and I don't want to play chords because there's already guys playing block chords. So the whole song, I did single note R&B type, chicken picking type stuff. And I just wrote it out. The whole song. And maybe in the chorus, maybe I went to chords, just diamonds. So you keep it simple. Yeah, so Phoenix, you know how it is, dude. You know how Nashville does it. They do it a whole different way. Unless you're paying the bill yourself and you've got money to burn. Nashville is, and look, that's why they use the studio guys, because those guys are used to it and they can do it. I used to not really think, Nashville, yada, yada, yada. But man, when you break down what you have to do, that you've got seconds to dial in your tone and you've got seconds to come up with a part, you go, man, these guys are great. These guys are great at what they do. And man, here's the thing. While you're trying to think of a part, the drummer's over there, ding, 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 tightening up a snare, ding, ding, ding. The bass player's trying to find his tone. The other guitar players, he's coming up, he's doing something. So you're hearing all this distractions. It's not like you're sitting in a quiet room and, oh, what about this? And you don't even, here's the thing, man. They want you to not talk. They just want you to play a part and nail it. So you don't go, hey, what if I do this? Or hey, what if I do that? Because that slows down the session. So just listen to everybody, come up with a part, and do it. I guess I wouldn't really call it robot, Bo, but there's a certain amount of playing it safe because you don't want to be the guy that makes an obvious mistake. It's just mistakes are not, it's not something you make. So if you've got to simplify your part, you know what? Sometimes simple is easy. We call it diamonds. Diamonds is just this diamond symbol on the page. And that means strum the chord and let it ring for the full measure. There's nothing wrong with going bling, 2, 3, 4, bling, 2, 3, 4, bling, and having a nice sound with some ethereal echo, going. It's, if you create a good part on the fly, of course, Maxwell, that's ultimately what you need to do. Yes, Phoenix, that's it. You listen to the demo for 30 seconds and have the whole song arranged and recorded in one take. That's what you have to do. Can you imagine coming up with killer riffs and have Sharon take ownership? Yeah, that would be awful, Elaine. Always asking country to come up with Eruption. No, they're not coming up with Eruption, but some of those guys, listen to some of Brent Mason's guitar solos. I think they would be just as difficult to play as Eruption. Trust me on this. Those dudes can shred, man. And like, a guy like Bukovac, he plays stuff that's very ethereal and tasty and creative. And it might be simple chord changes, but he'll make it sound complex. Bad when people stare at you. So you do everything you can not to stand out. I've heard people not get called back because they talk too much. There you go, Phoenix. So that dude, Yeah, he's not playing Eruption, but Brent Mason can flat out play, dude. We got 93 people in here. Let's get the thumbs up. I'm having a good time. John, thank you so much. Dude, I hear you, bro. We all have ideas. It's hard to make it. Man, I tell you, dude, you know it. That's your 20th super on a live stream. John, you rock. You rock. Phoenix, how much did that cost you to get Brent Mason? I mean, look, you pay scale, right? And what was scale at that time? So you hire a guy like that in a 3-hour window. So you got him for 3 hours. And you know, a guy like that can do a lot in 3 hours. He could play on 3 songs for 3 hours and nail it. He could probably do 4 songs. A guy like that could probably play on 4 songs and nail it. I don't know. What do you think, Anarchy? I think he probably is, dude. Yeah, he's not. You know, I'm not a chicken picker. I'm not. That's not something that I aspire. Oh, $300. There you go. So that was what, a 3-hour window? Yeah, but see, I think that would be more. It would be more now. It would be more than that. But unless the singers wear out or blow out their voice, oh, Gord trying to do too much. Talking between gigs is damaging. Hey, me talking on here, you guys have heard me some nights and the voice just goes out. Why do you think I keep trying to stay hydrated here? That's the most important thing you can do. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I'm glad to have you here, brother. I'm glad to have you here. Yeah, they are amazing, Elaine. They are amazing. Those guys, look, man, you know, the way I learned how to play guitar, open strings were not really a thing that I was taught wasn't hip. But man, Nashville is all about open strings and snapping and popping and doing all that stuff. So it's another language. I can fake it. If you give me a week and let me practice in this room, I could post a chicken picking video and you guys would think I'm, you know, the next, you know, whoever. But man, it takes a while to get those chops up. It's a different flow than what I normally do. It's a totally different flow. I've got a bunch of different hats that I can wear, but that's one that I have to work at. If I'm gonna play chicken picking and just chicken picking and country it up through a tune and have these long flowing lines, yeah, it's no sheet music. It's a number system. All they have is a number written on the page of what chord. Yeah, Lifeson does it a different thing. These guys are playing those chicken picking runs are all, you know. Here's like the idea, right? I mean, if we got this guitar here. I don't even know, is this thing even on? Let's see. Oh no, I unplugged everything. Oh, thank you, Keith. Thank you so much, brother. I unplugged everything, but you know, right? It's that kind. It's doing these runs like that. Every other note is an open string. And it's, you know, it's like, you know, it's, I can't really do it. You know, I have to practice that. Well, you know, what I'm playing here is, it's just a pattern. So yeah, it's just, you know, and then, you know, hybrid picking. Right? It's just doing that stuff. I don't even know if can you guys hear that? Pull offs and pick and then pluck. So, right? And then it's, right? It is a run that you would play in G major, but the scale, that's a half step up, so that's not in the G major scale. Yeah, they are insane, Steve. I mean, it's a whole nother thing. Yeah, Mixolydian, definitely. And the blues scale and pentatonic scale and all that. Right? Somebody said Hot Rod Lincoln. That lick from Hot Rod Lincoln is it's a tough lick to play, and I will use that to warm up my hands sometimes. Right? I will do that. That's a good picking exercise, and it's easy. So you can do it, Freddie. You got to do this, brother. You just got to build it up. Right on, Scott. I used to live in California, and then I moved to Nashville, and now I'm in Florida. So, all right, Leo. Blues Juniors are good amps. They're good sounding amps, man. So it took you 3 months. I'm curious about that, Bo. Does it sound like Polyphia when you play that? It took you 3 months. Dude, that stuff is insane. I wonder if you have to use their plugins to try to get that compression and everything that they have. Do you like tweed amps? I'd love to have one, but I don't have any. You played with a backing track. Right on, Bo. Okay, man. Congratulations, brother. Yeah, that's some cool stuff, man. Use a similar guitar to this. Yeah. Very cool. I should check out some of their stuff, dude. It's definitely interesting. Do you know Eddie Henselman? No, I don't think so. Tyler Shep. I have not seen him. So people are playing that stuff. And here's the thing, man. Even if that stuff is written and played, at half speed or whatever's going on, kids are going to be able to play all that stuff. But will they be able to improvise in that style? That's what I want to see. I want to see a guy throw some chord changes in front of him and then play that beep boop 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 beep boop boop. I want to see a guy that can improvise. I used to live in Hollywood, and I used to live in the Valley, dude. I used to live in Van Nuys, man. We were checking out the thighs in Van Nuys, man. San Ramon, and worked in Dublin for about 3 months. Right on. Can you use that guitar you're using for metal? Yes, absolutely. Eddie Van Halen, do you consider that metal? I mean, now that's hard rock. When I was a kid, Van Halen was metal. It was the early stuff. I'm on Fire, and I'm the one that was metal. Yngwie plays single coils. This has got a humbucker in it. I mean, metal, the definition of metal these days is so much different. It's so much heavier than what kids play now. It's not scalloped, dude. I tell you what scalloped, my potatoes that I got in the fridge, bro. They're totally, yeah, we had 100 viewers here, bro. We're kicking butt here tonight, and I'm 84 minutes in, but you know what? This has been a great, candid, real discussion. And man, I'm having a blast talking to you guys. So yeah, he is pushing that mini Spark amp. He almost made me want to buy one. Yes, you got to. Dana, thank you so much, man. You guys are kicking ass tonight. Look, I'm going to come on here. We're going to have another one of these discussions New Year's Eve. And I'll probably do like a 7 o'clock or something like that, depending on what the family wants to do. You might have to just play it by ear and look for me that night because I don't know. No, I did not, Karinzan. I need to order those though. I need to. Here's the thing. I totally unplugged my whole setup to show you guys the Ampero. So I don't have anything that I can play right now. But yeah, preamp will boost it. But man, look, I'm not really trying to play metal so much these days. I know people like to hear gained out stuff, and my metal is kind of stopped at around the 80s, and so I don't really play any. I don't really play any modern metal. I don't gent. I don't have a drop tune. I don't have a 7-string. I did. If you guys want to hear me play metal, go check out my album Into the Ether. Into the Ether. It is on Spotify. It's on YouTube. There's a song on there called Ye of Little Faith. And it is my vocal tribute to Ronnie James Dio. And it's got an acoustic Yngwie style solo in the middle of it. So yeah, I don't, gent, Freddie, is modern metal where it's like, it's metal with, it's all this, it's very rhythmic. It's very odd time signature. It's drop tuned. It's what the kids do. I don't really do that. I guess, I could take a couple lessons and I could probably gent a little bit, but it's just not where my head's at, man. Stage series setup. What is a stage series setup, John? What are you talking about? It wouldn't be an E string though, shredding. It would be a drop B or something. You have to do a video where you play a sunset and then after each chord you shake the neck back and forth. Yeah, a lot of people do that. Right on, funeral. Favorite Yngwie album is Live with Alcatraz. All right, what I played at 14 years old. Call it gent. Gent sucks. So I don't think most of us old guys. You know what? I appreciate the skill, and these guys are coming up with their own thing, but I just don't feel like it's chick friendly. No offense to girls. I know there's some girls that play gent music, but I know my wife doesn't want to hear that in the car. I'm lucky if I get to crank up Panama every now and then in the car. And, some of the stuff that I like, the wife doesn't want to hear. My wife she won't listen to Pantera. I think about as heavy as I go is Pantera. I love Pantera, and I could listen to that if I really want to like kick some ass. But that's about as heavy as I go. Thank you, man. Yes, there's Edward Van Halen, man. Yeah, we like what we like. And look, man, everybody, your tastes change through life, and you go through phases. Yeah, Grizzly Bear vocals. I want to hear some melodies, man. I want to hear melodies, and I don't want to have to count. They call them, how about math rock? I don't want to count when I'm trying to ease the seat back. Exactly, Michael. I don't want to count when I'm listening to music. I mean, I'm okay with some odd meters here and there, but man, I just want to have a nice beat that gets me to my next destination. So there's that. I like lyrics, man. I like lyrics that I can understand. And I hate to say it, man, but as you get older, dude, I like yacht rock now, and I love Steely Dan. and I like smooth stuff when I get in the car and I don't want to be aggravated. So, I'll put that stuff on. But I do also like to listen to Ozzy's Boneyard and Hair Nation. There's about 4 channels that I listen to, and I like classic vinyl or deep tracks. I like those channels. Um, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Who is that? That's Jime. I hear you, Jime. Yeah, the dude's talented, man. Those guys are talented. Yeah, I tell you what. There's 2 guys that sound the best playing that Van Halen stuff. And one of them is Dweezil Zappa. And the other guy, I give this guy a shout out, Jacob Daraps. Is that how you say his name? Have you guys ever seen that guy on YouTube? Been posting all these clips of him playing Van Halen solos. Dude, it's spot on, dude. And if you want to hear Eddie's stuff broken down and see somebody actually play the parts, you just go, man, Eddie was a friggin' genius, but he paid the price for that stuff. Yeah, Pete Thorne is great at playing a VH, but I would argue that Jacob Daraps is better. Dude, he can rip. Dude, I saw a clip of him playing the Hang 'em High guitar solo, playing that. Man, that whole guitar part Eddie is playing it's just genius, man. Pete Thorne does a great job, but I still, to my ears, because I'm hearing the tone and the hands and the nuances. To me, Daraps is closer. And Dweezil's got an understanding of it from being that close to Ed and picking up things. Yeah, Jacob Daraps, Derap. He has a YouTube channel, and I guess he's working on an album. If I was David Lee Roth, I would call that guy. I would say, you know what? I'm going to do a handful of shows, and I'm going to fly you in to be my Eddie. That guy, and he's got a band that plays up in Canada. I've seen clips of him playing in a bar with 2 other guys playing Van Halen songs in a club, and there's girls up front, and it's a whole vibe. But man, he's a young guy. Yeah, Ed gave Dweezil's that things, and so Dweezil's got an understanding of some things, some idiosyncrasies that Eddie's did that make the sound, make his things. Why nobody sounds exactly like Ed, but those 2 guys, to my ears, sound the most like Ed. I know how tiring it can be searching for new bands. It's tough. Yeah, Dweezil Zappa's YouTube channel has really been really good lately, man. He's making A+ content, man. It is, Hadley. It is kind of the sound of that, especially the early stuff. And it was probably that same thing through the Sammy Hagar, but it just wasn't working as good. After a while, that stuff, it's just maintenance after a while. It's, the magic is gone from it when you've got more and more at your hands. Yeah, it is a shame, Joey. Yeah. David Lee Roth is 70. Yeah, he is good. Yeah, he's not. He's not. But, Sammy's out there playing. I think Dave maybe had too many cigarettes. I honestly think cigarettes do the worst damage on your voice than anything. Where they knock on side door and go into a room full of. I have not seen that, MB. Is that on YouTube? Come on. I have not seen that, bro. Stephen, I salute you on your journey. You can do it, brother. You can do it. You can play in a band. You can learn, dude. You can learn bass in a few weeks. I got faith in you, but you got to work hard, man. Got to practice and learn the notes on the neck. Yeah, man, cigarettes do. I mean, Look what Whitney Houston did to her voice. But of course, there was some other stuff going on. Yeah, don't ever smoke, man. I mean, I used to back in the day a little bit. Um, check out Van Halen interview with Sammy. I have not seen that, MB, and I would have thought that I would have seen. If there's piles of stuff sitting somewhere, I would have thought I would have seen that. Um, they were all sitting in a game room. Yeah, I thought I've seen that, but I didn't see one with piles. I thought I saw one where they're sitting in the room and they're just doing an interview, right? Or is this them partying in there? I have to see that. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. $5,000 a day to rent the Hirsch Memorial Coliseum, and Vanguard had it for 2 weeks rehearsing the tour. Well, $5,000 a day is not too bad considering you get to rehearse the tour on a big stage and get your PA system and get everything right. Yeah, I hear you, Freddie. I hear you. It's a tough thing, man. Well, look, man, I've been on here for 95 minutes. I think it's time I head out. Thank everybody for chipping in tonight. It's going to be a great 2025. This is the last Backstage episode with Bad Brad, but I'm going to try to get on here New Year's Eve. I'm going to try to, get with you guys and have a little fun chat. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. It's been awesome. We got 108 likes. And man, everybody have a great night, man. I'm gonna go have a little snack and probably go to bed. But thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for being here tonight. This was awesome. 2025 is gonna be epic, dude. It's gonna be epic, bro. It's gonna be totally epic. I'll see you guys Tuesday night. All right, everybody. Peace out. Have a great one. If I don't see you Tuesday, everybody have a great end of the year. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.